Greetings, I'm Athina and I'm grateful that you're here with me today. Today I'm going to talk about the clairs, or also known as psychic abilities. I'm going to start with the ones that are the most known, and then some that are not so talked about. And yeah, I'm going to start first with a little disclaimer that sometimes things happen because a brain is testing the functions. So if you, for example, hear someone say your name and you turn around and there's no one, it could be your brain just testing if the memory, the auditive memory is working. So make sure to test with your doctors first to see if there is nothing wrong with you in case of some hearing problems or vision problems, so that we can discard this. Because sometimes it really is just our brain just testing if the functions are working, and then it has nothing to do with psychic abilities. So do make sure that if you notice something, that you go check with your doctor to see if everything's really working around well with you. So now let's get started with the first clairvoyance. One of the things that most people know is clairseeing. Then there are two ways to see something. There is one where you can physically see with your physical eyes spirit, or other beings that are walking around here on this plane. This is something that is really rare, so not everyone can see spirit with their physical eyes. Most of the time, what people can do with clairvoyance is seeing with their mind's eye, so you see it more of it here with your third eye. The visions or certain pictures, it could be movies, colors as well. Like an example, I will be making an example for all clairs. From what I have known, clairvoyance is also one of my weakest clairs, so don't expect me to go well into detail. It's like I see things mostly when I am really in deep meditation. I did last year or 2 years ago when I was meditating. I would be seeing images, moving images, like a series, and then later on I would be watching them, so I was seeing a glimpse of my future and the future stuff that I was watching on Netflix. So also the first thing that I really saw was a color, blue. So when I was meditating before I went to sleep, I would sometimes see this blue circle that would go like this out, like rays of a sun, and I was asking myself what it was. And later on the YouTube channel, not this one, I have a private one, I got a recommendation about stuff concerning Archangel Michael. So I watched it, and then the person said that when Archangel Michael puts in protection, he makes it for a group, and then mostly we see something blue that spreads around and connects to different things, because he is making like group protection to everyone that he deems needs the protection or calls upon him for protection. I also once, when I was doing a pick a card reading, I saw a vision of the temple of, I have no idea how it's pronounced, neither in English nor in German. It's a temple in Mexico. It's really famous, so if you put in Temple of Mexico, I think you will find the picture of this temple that goes like this and has like, doesn't have a point as a at the end. It's like cut off and then it goes like this. Whatever, I saw this and I mentioned it in the pick a card reading. Don't know which one it was, but that was the only time that I saw an image while I was doing pick a card readings, because clairvoyance is one of my weakest clairs. If you are more of a clairvoyant and you know more about this stuff, I would love to hear it. Just write a comment if you feel comfortable. Then the next one is Clairaudience. It's clear hearing, so you can hear spirit, or also your higher self. It's like when you get the messages through words instead of images. This can come in a lot of ways. Like you hear one word, you hear a sentence. It really depends on how well your clairaudient works. Because you can all train it. You can train the clairs. There is a way. So I sometimes just hear a word, or what most catches my attention is when I'm hearing songs. So you can also hear songs. So as well as in clairvoyance, in clairaudience, you can hear it with your physical ears, like it is outside of you, or you hear it in your head. So I read that there are some people that they cannot hear their thoughts. So it's hard to describe it because I hear my thoughts. So I hear everything in my head, and I'm not so sure. I'm not a what is he called? Social frauding? Oh, I forgot it. Social flame. Well, I'm not crazy. So it's not every time that I hear something. So most of the time is when I hear a song, it's like there is a part of the song and then the rest is like omitted. So I don't hear the other part, and it keeps on repeating. Always the same part, but it doesn't end. The part of the song, because one part is omitted and then it starts again, and I cannot continue the song. So it's like there was put a blockage on how the song continues with the words. So when that happens, I know that I need to go search for the song with the part that I heard, and then I would search the lyrics from the part that I heard and see what was the part that was omitted. Most of the time the part that it's omitted is the message for me. Sometimes I am like, aha, okay, now I understand what this means, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm still not getting it. What do you want to say with the song? After I searched for the song and got the omitted part, it stops playing in my head, so the song just is gone. And just one time I heard something with my physical ears. It was when I was waking up. I was not half asleep, I was awake, and I heard some a male voice say, it's almost finished. And I was like there and thought, what is almost finished? But I didn't hear anything else. And I heard it was in my room, like I was sleeping with my back towards it, and then I heard it's almost finished, and I was like, it is almost finished in my thoughts, but I didn't hear anything else. And then I turned around and looked at my room, and there was nothing there. So that's how I hear stuff. Clairaudience. That is my third clair that I use or have. The next one is the one that is one of my strongest clairs, Clairsentience. It's when you feel certain things. So if you walk into a room, you feel either the heavy energy, the heavy thing that was maybe going on before you came in, or when you come into a room you feel the lightness and the happiness. Maybe there was laughing first, or you just get the messages through a feeling, like when you think about something and you feel really excited about it, it's like it's a yes. Or when you think about it and you feel meh, then it's probably a no. So yeah, or you have just this feeling of, yeah, I better not go to this certain place, and afterwards you realize that something happened. I like to make an example with my friend, because I do have clairsentience, but mine is more of the clairempathy. So I do like to use my friend now. She and her mother wanted to go to the post office to do something there, but both of them said, nah, I don't feel like going, let's go tomorrow. So they didn't go there, and then after a few hours they heard that the post office they wanted to go at that exact time was being robbed. So because of the feeling that they got, so hey, better not go today, let's go tomorrow, they escaped from witnessing the robbery at the post office. And yeah, Switzerland is not that safe anymore. It was once where we would hardly hear about robbery. Now it happens a little bit more often than most would like. But yeah, so my friend and her mother escaped from that. It's also like once my teacher said this, that you would always walk the same path at the same time over a bridge, and then you have just this, it's like a gut instinct as well, the clairsentience. And then you have this thought of one day, let's not go over that bridge today and take a detour. And later you may never know if that bridge didn't fall down. Now I'm hearing the London Bridge has fallen down. It fits perfectly to that example. So now let's go to the one that is the most strongest for me. It's Clairempathy. It's when you are an empath and you can feel other people's feelings. It's like you are in a room of people and you sit are sitting next to someone that is on their phone and they are typing with someone, and you feel this anger and you are like, where is this feeling coming from? Nothing happened to me that I should be feeling angry. But what you don't know is that the person to your left is having an argument with the person they are typing with, and that's why you are feeling that anger. Or you are sitting with someone in front of you and someone at the back is sad and crying, and you feel this sudden sadness, which you cannot explain where this sadness came from. It's probably because you are picking up on the person that is feeling sad behind you. The thing that most stuck out to me with Clairempathy is when I was in Greece. We wanted to come back to Switzerland. We were at the airport waiting because we couldn't board now, so we were sitting there just watching the people pass by with their suitcases. I was on my phone and I started to feel anger and frustration, and I was like, that's not my feeling. Why should I be angry or frustrated? And then I asked myself, where is this feeling coming from? Then I got this feeling that I should look right, like diagonal to my right, and there was this guy that really seemed upset on his face. I don't know if he was crying and shedding tears, but he didn't look well, and I was like, okay, now I understand. This is not my feeling, that's his feeling that he was. Now I was like, I didn't know how to cut off so that I stopped feeling his emotions, because it's not mine, but somehow I got connected to it because it was in my auric field, because your auric field can go a long distance. Like before you even enter a room, you can feel probably the emotion and the things. This also goes into clairsentience. So for me, clairsentience and clairempathy is like mixed together, like in a way. And also you can feel if someone is lying to you. You just have this inkling of, I feel like they are lying to me. So you can also be a good lie detector if your clairempathy is really strong and working well. But now comes the next one on the list, the fifth one, Clairgognizance. It's when you know stuff. And I have to say, sometimes my Clairsentience and Clairgognizance mix together. So I'm not sure if it's just a feeling that I have or just a knowing that I have. When you know something is going to happen or how the situation is going to end. Like for example, a funny example even, I went to get burger with my friends, and the weather was really well outside, so we wanted to eat outside at a park. So with our burgers, we went to the park and we were eating, and I had the chicken bacon avocado burger, and it's divine. It has nothing to do with divination, sadly, but the chicken burger bacon avocado was great. So I was eating my burger. I had the thing that the burger was wrapped up on my lap, and I was eating it. We were at the park, so we didn't have any table. So, and I was eating, and sometimes when you eat a burger, you know that after you bite it, the other side, sometimes the sauce comes out. So I was eating the burger, and then I looked at the burger, and I was like, I know the sauce is going to drop onto my pants. Instead of that, I do something so that my pants stays clean. No, I didn't think much, and I continued eating and then dropped it on my freshly washed pants, the avocado sauce. And I was like, I knew it was going to happen, and I was like, so now to my pastor, and why didn't you do something? So what did happen afterwards? I put my pants to wash again. So that's when you have the clear knowing, when you know this is going to happen. For example, my friend she is now she is there. She is making a Asia tour, and she started, she's now in Japan. She started there. We'll go to Korea, Malaysia, and the Philippines. So she said that she heard that the cherry blossoms are already blooming in Japan, and she was, oh, I really wanted the purpose of going to Japan first was to watch the cherry blossoms. So she decided on the certain time where the cherry blossoms would bloom, and she said, now I'm not going to see it because they are already blooming. And I was like, I think you're still going to see it. It was just a knowing that you don't have to worry about it. You are going to see the cherry blossoms. And then she went, and in Osaka, she took a picture near a cherry blossom tree, and she wrote that the first were starting to bloom, but not all were blooming. And I was like, see, didn't I say you that you are going to see the cherry blossoms? So it's just something that you know that is going to happen. And sometimes the Clairgognizance just mixes together with the Clairsentience. So I'm not able to discern if it's just a knowing or just a feeling that I have. So most of the time I say I think. And you can also see what is your strongest Clair, if you maybe are a tarot reader or you read oracle cards. If you say I see, is probably because you are most of a visual person and more clairvoyant. If you say I hear, then it's clairaudience. If you say I feel, it's probably clairsentience mixed together with clairempathy. And if you say I know, then it's clairgognizance. So those are the 5 that are mostly known. Then let's go to 3 that are not so much known. We have Clairgustance. That's when you can taste stuff even though you don't have anything in your mouth. I read in a book that if you have Clairgustance, your spirit guides can communicate to you with the taste of something. It's like when you don't know if it is a yes or a no, you can either, if it is a yes, you taste something sweet, something good in your mouth, and when it is a no, you probably will taste something that's bad or rotten, and you go, ugh, I don't want to taste that really. It's probably because it's a no. It's like with the Clairsentience part, if it is a good feeling, then it's a yes. If it's a meh feeling, then it's probably a no. The same goes with the Clairgustance. If it tastes good, then yes. If it tastes bad, then ahem. So I really can't say much to it. I don't even have an example of real life because it's one of the rarest thing, I guess. Then we have the next one is Clairalience. It's when you can smell it. So I have to use an example from my mother because I don't smell nor do I taste stuff. So it's like this. My mother went to sleep. She was alone in the room, and she doesn't use perfume at all. Okay, she used it sometimes, but in that day she didn't use it because she was home all the time, so why should she use perfume at home? So she went to sleep and was drifting up. It's when she started to smell something, and she smelled a perfume. The next day when she woke up and we were hanging out in the living room, she said to me, so, hey, do you know what this is? And I was like, what exactly do you mean? So when I was in bed, after some time I started to smell something like a perfume, and I was like, did you use perfume yesterday? And she was, no. I asked if she knew the scent, if it was something she was familiar with. She said, no, I never smelled this before. It's an unknown smell. Because when she stated that she smelled something, I was like, maybe it could be an ancestor that came to visit and look if she's alright. So I asked if she knew the smell, because it could have been someone she knew that always used that type of perfume, so that if she smelled it again, she would be reminded of this person. But since she said that she didn't know the perfume, I was like, look, I first thought that it could be a family member that you may not know of that passed already away, and they like to use this type of perfume, and they were just checking on you if everything is alright, because they care and love for us and stuff like this. So I was trying to reassure her that everything's alright, because when something like this happens, she comes to me, because I'm the person that knows about spirituality, angels and stuff like this. So she always comes to me, hey, do you know what this is? And she explains it to me, and most of the time the first thing I think about it is mostly the thing that's true. So that's how she smelled the perfume. So maybe if you smell something, even though there's not anything around you that should smell, it could be just someone visiting you, and they like this type of perfume, so that you can next time recognize it again, them, whoever. Then we have one that I never heard of before. Clairtangency is when you touch something even though it's not there. And in the book it was something like mentioned as well, but not with this wording, so I didn't know it was that the book was referring to. It's like because the book was written by a medium, and he talked about a session that he did. It was like he did like astral traveling or remote viewing, just that with the ability of this, and he was seeing this place where he could also feel the texture of the furniture that was there, and he could say, look, I'm feeling this, and seeing it like this and this, and he would then from his querent, the person that asked him to do this, tell them, and they would either confirm, yeah, that was something in the home from my father, grandfather, and so mother, grandmother, and so on. So he would just explain it with all his senses, and so he could touch something even though it was not physically there. So that's Clairtangency, that I never heard of before. So I can feel when something touches me, when my spirit guides are around and they touch me, mostly sometimes on my arm. There was someone that was touching me sometimes at my upper leg, and I was like, don't touch me there. I feel uncomfortable. It appears it was not my spiritual team, because they didn't get their hands off after I said they should. So they were banned from my home, so never felt this before again after I put them out, or asked my team to put them out. So yeah, those are the known clairs, and a little bit of information there. And if you think, where was she looking at? I was looking at my iPad, because I have here a list of the clairs and also some other things that I found on Pinterest, and I was, oh, that's so funny how the clairs are explained, that I want to share it, how this thing is explaining the clairs. So I hope I don't get blocked by YouTube. So here it states: Clairvoyance, when you see shit. Clairaudience, when you hear shit. Clairsentience, when you feel shit. Sorry. Clairempathy, when you feel others people's shit. Clairgognizance, when you just know shit. Clairgustance, when you taste shit. I hope you never taste shit. Clairalience, when you smell shit, not a pleasant smell. Clairtangency, when you get touched and shit. Then it goes more. It's not the clairs, but I'm just going to share you because it's funny and I don't want to withhold this information from you. So we have telepathy, when you can communicate through thoughts and shit. Telekinesis, when you can move things with your mind and shit. Taromancy, that is a good one. Just don't get offended, please. Taromancy, when you manipulate cards and shit. Sorry, it's just my type of humor. Maybe it's not yours, so I'm sorry that you had to hear it. So that's all about the clairs. I'm not going to talk about telepathy and the other things because it's not the clairs. I do hope you could get a little bit of information from it. I didn't really plan anything to say, just what it is, what I know about it, and how, and some examples to see if maybe it clicks for you, because sometimes when I talked about Clairaudience with the people and said, yeah, I hear songs that keep on repeating, and when I go listen to it or look up the lyrics, it just stops. So yeah, thank you for staying with me till the end. I do hope that it helped you get maybe to know more of your clairs. If you have knowledge on any of the clairs that I had not as much knowledge, do please leave a comment. I would love to learn more about it. And I'm sure that others would also like to get the information. Of course, just share what you feel most comfortable about it. So yeah, thank you, and I will be seeing you in my next video. Bye!